I'm Maddie.
I'm Mac.
I'm Bailey.
I'm Annie.
I'm Michaela.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Forney.
Yeah, Max.
I'm Madeline.
I'm Callie.
I'm Anna.
Mr. Costello.
And I'm Olivia, and we're here with Cotter News.
Can you tell me about your experience with John Teen Press and the workshop you did?
The part about, we're not too young to do things, and I really like how he taught us about that, and how his job is really to show us that we do matter and that we can make a change.
One thing that I think changed me the most and just helped that John taught, I think, everyone, was the handshake. That was one of the most important things that I'll remember. And yeah.
I think just how energetic he was, and he was always smiling, and he could give you a compliment about anything.
My experience with John and the Teen Press was really great, and it was really fun, and it was a good experience for me because I got to learn that the power of a handshake and just smiling at somebody and having a good conversation with them can lead you to learning a lot about somebody.
Meeting John was really cool because not just the fact that he's a pretty cool person, but he had a lot of great stories to share and a lot of good insight on just how to be a good person in general. And when he taught us about how to interview people, he sat down with us and we interviewed him actually to try to interview him, and he made us sit really close to him because we were all pretty uncomfortable with interviewing people at the time. So he made us sit really close to him and shake his hand and look him in the eyes, and gave us a lot of good tips about how to interview a person properly and well.
Yeah, I think that John was super duper. He was really a nice guy, and he was really charismatic too, and he had great storytelling abilities, and he brought forth lessons that were told in a very creative and very charismatic way, and he brought them to us, and it felt very personal. So I thought the way that John presented his ideas and his methods of interviewing and doing press work, I thought they were unbelievable, and I thought the whole experience with John was really a great opportunity.
I think for me, Teen Press has been one of the best experiences I've ever had in my whole life, with interviewing people and meeting John. It was just amazing that everyone was always so excited when we were interviewing them, and they wanted us to interview them, and it was really cool to see that people respected that we have a voice and everything. And John was just so great, and he taught us really well, and he made sure we had these great experiences, and it was just an opportunity that I never thought I'd have, and that I've been changed by.
I know what it's like to be on this side of the camera and talk and interview some of these people, but I want to ask you, as an administrator and a staff member, what is it like dealing with John and the whole Teen Press mentality?
Working with John was just outstanding, as you guys well know. He really brought freshness to us. I remember us meeting with him in Flex Hour, and he was explaining to students, what was going on and what Teen Press was about. And there was a magical moment when he said, I should be modeling what I'm talking about. And he stepped down and went and shook one of the people's hands as they had asked him a question. And from that moment on, everybody was glued. And just the impact that that's had actually for us as a group at Cotter has been pretty amazing. We do talk about different things about what we want our students to know. And we want our students to be able to read, to write well, and to speak well. And I think as we incorporate the stuff that John has talked about, it gets all three of them.
It was a fantastic experience. As Mr. Forney may have said, because of the Frozen River Film Festival, we were able to connect with John and his Teen Press model. And in as a teacher, you get to see a lot of educational ideas, but this is one of the best ones I'd ever seen in terms of having a positive message, some great stuff for middle school or junior high aged kids, and a presenter who had great knowledge but great passion, and also really great human values that he was passing along to the students. And so it was really kind of a magical week for us, and I got to work with people like you that I don't normally see in the building, and I was really excited to see us get outside of the building, because even for teachers, sometimes the classroom can get stale or a little boring, or doesn't seem to have a real connection. And in this program, we really went out there and learned about new people and new experiences and connected with them in a human way that was really fantastic.
What was, just pick any one moment in particular about this whole experience that really stood out for you?
I think a moment for me when I realized that this was really powerful was when I did the interview with Frederick, because he had no hands at all, and I know that there were some times when I thought that I couldn't do some things, but he's over here with no hands and he can do anything basically, and he was just such a happy person, and he was a really good influence on my life.
Mine was probably just watching all of the films. I think they were all just really inspirational, but yeah, they're just all really great.
When he first came to Cotter, and it was during a flex, and we all sat down and we watched his movie and stuff, and then I remember asking a question, and I'm pretty sure this isn't worded right, but I asked, how can I start changing the world? And his answer was that it doesn't matter how you do it as long as you start doing something. And then he told a story about a guy, and I don't know, that really stood out to me though, because normally I'm not very big on getting out of my comfort zone and just asking anything. And so when I did that and then he gave me that answer, it kind of just stuck with me.
Yeah, I think with me, it was one of the interviews we did, with the one that we did with Frederick. Of course, the people who interviewed him, how were you not changed by meeting him? He lost his hands, and he was eager to put on a Viking helmet that we gave him, and he was so excited for everything. And it was great, because I love giving hugs. Like, I love hugging people. And he was so excited to hug me, and I was just, oh my gosh, it was amazing, because I don't even know. It was like how I was just shocked that this man was having such a positive view of life when these awful things have happened to him, and it was just a really life-changing moment for me.
Since John came here, did he have a big impact on like the Cotter family on that?
Well, I know he had an impact on some people, because I saw the message or the question that you asked him, and I know he was impressed that you followed up after our meeting with him. So that's just one small example. I'm glad you used the word Cotter family, because it brought people together that normally don't work together as teachers and students, and in different age groups. We had seniors to 7th graders working together. And also, if we think of our community as a family, we got to meet people at Winona State with Frozen River Film Festival at St. Mary's University, and people from all over the country and all over the world who came to Winona. We had a chance to go out and meet them, and normally they would have come and left without anyone at Cotter maybe even noticing or knowing. So one of the biggest things is that we talk about experiential learning or project-based learning, and this is a real experience for all of us as teachers and students. It was a truly fantastic week, and I think that just the excitement people got of getting out of their chairs and going to meet people and using some new technology in a way that was very useful for all of us was fantastic.
Probably the biggest thing that I saw was just a huge engagement. Students were greatly engaged in the activities. They were, putting themselves out there. And to be honest with you, I haven't seen that from students for a long, long time. To be able to get them excited about something is really powerful. And for us to do something like that and continue with that is a great possibility. He talks about storytelling, and he's a great storyteller, as you all know. But everybody's got a story, and we've seen that with Frederick. We saw it with Brandenburg. Everybody that you guys interviewed. But you each have a story, and we can learn through stories. The background of research, doing history, doing English, doing all those subject areas within Teen Press Project is very possible.
Like I said, like we both said, this is an amazing thing to be able to do, because people were just, I had one interview, and the guy was like, "That was amazing, thank you so much." And then he came in later and he asked if we could interview other people. And we couldn't, but it was amazing, because it was like, we're just kids, and these people who are really important want us to interview them. And it was like, this is something that I wish that every child could experience, because it's just the coolest thing to, I don't know. You should add on to that, because
get out of your comfort zone, do something you wouldn't normally do, because you're not too young and you can make a change.
Well, it's a definite confidence builder, and it just, I don't know, I think it's just a great experience, and you never know, you could get into it later in life, and it just helps a lot.
Definitely, you get really confident from doing this, and speaking in front of large crowds now, like, you can speak in front of somebody you don't know, and I could probably speak in front of the whole school.
I think that something like Teen Press definitely helps with like public speaking skills, or just talking to somebody in general with confidence, and you're able to shake their hand and kind of push yourself outside of your comfort zone if you're not used to shaking somebody's hand. So it was really good.
Well, just based off of watching the interviews that you all did with the people that were at the film festival, and from hearing John talk about the kids where he's from, I think that it's a super good opportunity for kids to jump out of their comfort zone. And I wish we would have had something like this here when I was your age, because that would have been a wonderful opportunity for me. And I think that even now what we learned was, I had never done anything like that, so it was super helpful.
Yeah, I think the benefits of this type of program are really, really, there's a lot of them, I'd say, and it was really cool how his methodologies and his way of asking and answering questions, they do carry out into the real world. I know, at least personally for me, I had no idea there were such things as college interviews, and John taught me he emphasized the idea of really listening to a person's answer and basing a question off of his answer. And so I was totally winging all of my questions just based off of the professor's answers, and I skated by, I guess. And it was just, I think, he taught the importance of listening, and I think listening it's crucial in the business world, in the educational world, in job opportunities. Obviously, job interviews, you have to listen. So I think that to answer your question, I think the benefits the benefits of this type of program, the biggest benefit is that it carries on into the outside of school.
Do you think this will help you later in life?
Well, I mean, it already has, obviously. But yeah, I think that, the whole listening, I think learning to listen better, and learning to have a real conversation, that will help later on in life.
It really got me excited I'm teaching a journalism class, but we hadn't done something quite like this in terms of, we'd done interviews, but not like that. And it told me that there's a whole world of possibility out there, and it's right at our fingertips. And as a teacher, just like as a student or an athlete or musician or anything, you need to recharge your batteries and get fired up. And working with John and Teen Press and his sons, really did that for me. It got me excited about what we're doing right now and all the possibilities that are out there for us in the future. And I think this is a program that, whether we do it just like they do or not, it's got possibilities that are really endless, and I'm hoping it's something that we can build on.